Bernie Sanders announcing this morning that, quote, "It is time to send a message to corporate America. If you do not end your greed and corruption, we will end it for you." And he's going to do that with a new inequality tax. Now, this would cover companies with revenues of more than $100 million, both private and public. The tax kicks in when a CEO is paid at least 50 times the median salary of their worker. It would be a sliding scale, starting with a tax of 0.5%, rising to 5% for companies whose CEOs make more than 500 times their median worker. Now, Sanders said it would raise about $150 billion a year. The companies that would be the hardest hit, mostly in retail, banking, and restaurant chains, since, of course, they have large workforces of lower-paid employees, or those companies with operations in developing countries. McDonald's, for instance, would have had to pay an extra $110 million in taxes last year under the plan. Walmart would have had to pay $800 million more, and J.P. Morgan Chase about $1 billion more in taxes. Now, some of the other companies with large pay gaps include Chipotle, Coca-Cola, Dollar Tree, and Kohl's. And yes, the gap is one of the highest. Now, this is all made possible by a recent SEC rule that requires companies to disclose that pay gap. But this is the problem. There are no set rules for how companies have to calculate that median pay. So already in the 2 years that we've had it, we've seen big changes in what companies report the first year versus the second year. But regardless, this is, given that CEO pay from the 1980s to now used to be 30 to 1. Now it's 300 to 1. This could be popular with voters. Guys, back to you.
Robert, would pay include benefits at all? I mean, there's some argument that some companies may not pay a huge salary, but they do offer, for instance, health benefits, which could really add up.
Yeah, it does, and it's very complicated. So it excludes contractors, but it does include part-time workers. So you get into a situation there with some of those have benefits, some don't. And then you could get into a situation where companies, we've already seen last year, they would sell off divisions that had a large number of lower-paid workers, or they could just make some part-timers contractors and shift it that way. So there's a lot of give and take in how this number is fixed. Of course, not a lot, of course, focused on how to fix those CEO salaries, which, of course, is Bernie Sanders' focus.